Taking me home. For one thing, really do. Say that you're the worst, but I don't know. Is that true?
Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. So we're just getting straight into this berry makeup look, and I am just priming the skin with my NYX Photo Loving primer, and I'm just smoothing that all over my skin, especially in my T-zone, where I tend to be more porous and oily. So I'm just going in with that silicone texture to help with smoothing the skin. I'm gonna go ahead now and jump into brows, and I'm using the Absolute New York 2-in-1 Brow Perfector. But before I go ahead and put that on my brows, or fill in my brows rather, I'm just gonna brush that up with my spoolie. That spoolie is from e.l.f. Cosmetics. And now I'm going in with the Brow Perfector, and I'm just filling in the brow and following my natural brow shape. I'm not filling in too much. I know it looks dark on camera, but I do have dark brows, so anything that I put on my brows is just going to it's just gonna look dark because I naturally have dark brows and I like them dark anyways, so I rarely switch it up. So yeah, I'm just going and filling in and combing out, just making sure that the product is dispersed. I'm now going in with my Urban Decay All Nighter waterproof concealer, and I'm just cleaning up the bottom of the brows, and I'm just blending that onto the brow bone area using a flat definer brush. And also I'm going in with my I'm going in with the Japanese brush to blend that out. Now I'm moving on to the eyeshadow portion of the video, and I'm taking my Milani Gilded Violets palette, and I'm focusing more on the purple berry tones in the palette. But first, I'm going to go ahead and start in the crease with Heavy Petal from the palette, and I'm just patting that in with a fluffy brush. Any fluffy blending brush will do, but for a matte shadow, I would advise that you pat it in, and I'm just patting all over the eye and blending out the edges as I go along. Now I'm moving on to the shade Kiss Kiss, and I'm going to start blending that onto the outer V, and you'll see where it gets darker as the video progresses. So I'm just patting that in with my Morphe brush, and that is a Morphe eye blending brush. I don't remember the name right now. But I'm patting that in onto the outer V, and then I blend also into the crease to get that gradient effect, of course. So now I'm moving on to a Very Violet, and that is more of a purpley shade. It's darker than it looks on camera, and you'll see where it gets darker and darker as I build that onto the outer V and into the crease. I believe I also mixed that with a little bit of blue called Past Curfew, like that dark, deep purpley blue. So that's where it starts to get really intense. Now I'm patting on Your Majesty, which is a shimmer shade. I used my finger, and then I'm also gonna spray my brush and swipe that on. So you want to ensure that you're using swiping motions and you're not using windshield wiper motions, and you want to use a flat brush to put your shimmers on. Now I'm highlighting the inner corner, and I am taking the shade No Angel. These names are funny. I'm taking the shade No Angel, and I'm just highlighting the inner corner of the eyes. Now I'm moving on to the lower lash line, and I am using my Kiss Luxury Intense Lip Liner. Yes, it's a lip liner, and it's in the shade Purple. And I'm just going to use that to line the eyes and then blend it out with the shadows that I used on top. So we're just blending, and now I'm blending Kiss Kiss. So everything that we did on top, we're just going to mirror those same colors on the lower lash line. There I go, just trying to fix any harsh lines or edges. And now we have the look basically completed for the eyes. I applied my lashes. Those lashes are from Kiss. I don't remember number. I think it is number 3. Now I'm moving on to foundation. And I am taking my Hourglass foundation stick, and that is in the shade Almond, and I'm applying that into the areas that I need coverage the most. So the T-zone and also the sides of my forehead. And I'm just using my Morphe foundation buffing brush. I can hardly talk. Using my Morphe buffing brush, I am going in and I'm buffing in the foundation into my skin so that I can have a smooth finish. And you want to use buffing techniques, especially if you want to get that flawless base. You want to buff this into the skin. If you want to have that full coverage look, you definitely want to buff this into the skin. So that's what I'm doing until everything is blended and looks seamless. Yeah, and I'm blending on my ears as well. Do not forget your ears. Do not forget your neck. I didn't want to get the makeup on my shirt, so I didn't go down to my neck. So as you can see, now I'm applying a little bit of concealer, and I'm applying that to my T-zone, or the areas that I want to bring forward, which is the center of my face, my nose, and my forehead. This is also going to give me a little bit more coverage, which, listen, I am going for full coverage glam. It's dramatic today, so like, if you don't like full coverage, girl, then maybe you should watch my next video. But here we go, blending out this concealer. It is my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade, let me see, it is in the shade 40, and I am blending that underneath the eyes, and also I'm gonna clean up the edges of my eyes right there so that I can have that crisp line going for the eyeshadow. This concealer, it's not full coverage, it's medium buildable, so definitely you can use this if you are a girl or a guy that is not into full coverage makeup. You can definitely use this on top of your foundation and it will still give you a nice natural look. But I'm going for full coverage today. So there I go, going over with my foundation brush. And I'm just buffing out the edges of that concealer to make sure everything is seamless and also everything is blended together. And also I'm going back with a little bit more foundation because I felt like I needed a little bit more foundation to help with the blending process. So that's what I'm doing. So if anytime you're in doubt, just remember to blend it all out. You know, if you needed to apply a little bit more foundation to tone down the concealer, because I felt like I needed that. So that's what I was doing. Now I'm going in with a brighter concealer. That is my Urban Decay. So I'm going back in, yeah, with my Urban Decay All Nighter concealer, and this is a full coverage waterproof concealer. So I'm telling you, like, this concealer, it does not move. It does not move. But also, one thing to note, it does give you time to blend. It's not one of those concealers, as you put it on, it dries down. It gives you time to blend. But once it is blended and once you set this concealer, it does not go anywhere. It stays put. So I'm just blending that in the inner parts of my face, like, just like, you know, I'm not bringing it all the way out onto my cheekbones. I'm just focusing that into the inner center of my face, or T-zone rather, just to add some brightness and of course some coverage. And I'm going over that with my foundation brush, of course, just to make sure everything is blended. Now I'm gonna set with my Bare Minerals foundation powder. This is a loose foundation powder from Bare Minerals, and I'm setting that with a fluffy brush. And I believe, what's the shade? It is in the shade Golden Beige. And it's a foundation powder. It's a little bit on the heavy side, but it does offer coverage. This is a full coverage video, so do not mind me. Now I'm going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette. And this is, I don't remember the name of the palette, but it's one of the dark palettes, and I'm taking the two darkest shades in the pan, and I'm just going around the perimeters of my face just to, you know, contour my big ass forehead. I'm going over the edges, of course, again, with my foundation brush. And you will see me do this technique throughout this video because I want everything to be blended and seamless. Now I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Powder Contour Kit in tan to deep, and I'm using the darkest shades to set the areas that I placed the cream contour. And this is going to ensure that your cream contour does not slip and slide, because that is just the worst. So yes, we are now applying some bronzer from Sephora. This is the Sephora Collection bronzer in Ibiza. And yeah, I'm just bronzing up the skin and making sure that we have a bit of color going on and color added back to the skin, because we don't want to look flat and, you know, like one-dimensional. We want to highlight and we want to bring shadows to the face, because that's going to create the dimension that we're looking for when we take photos and also on camera in videos. Now I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the contour, like my jawline, my bearded area. Ladies, for ladies, you will just clean up like that under contour, like, you know, right in the jaw there. But for me, I have a beard, so I'm just going above my beard line with that loose powder from Maybelline. Going down the center of my nose, and also now I'm gonna go back in with my bronzer to snatch my nose. Yeah, I need to snatch my nose. So I'm just taking that from the corners of my eyes, from my brows, and I'm just going straight down, and then I'm gonna like shorten by putting that on the bulb area of my nose. I don't know what you call that, but my nostrils and so forth. And then now I'm just cleaning up the sides of my nose with the same Maybelline powder. I believe it's the Maybelline Fit Me Loose powder in the shade Light. I'm just now dusting away all that powder with a fluffy brush from Japanese, and, you know, just cleaning up everything as we go along. Here I'm going to add my Sephora Micro Smooth powder in the shade Deep, and I'm just going to go all over my face with that, especially my highlighted areas. So I'm going all over to make sure everything is balanced, and also that everything is smooth and just, yes, we are aiming for smooth looking skin today. Full coverage, smooth looking skin. So I'm just buffing that powder into the skin, and now I'm just gonna set down everything, spray it down with my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, and then to lock everything in, I'm going in with a second spray, and that is my NYX Matte Finish Spray. Now I'm gonna add my highlight, and the reason why I choose to add my highlight at this point is because it will definitely stick to the liquids that I use to set my face, and also stick to all those powders that I placed on. I'm just highlighting the tip of my nose. And now we're gonna go ahead and jump into the lip portion of this video. I'm lining my lips, and I'm taking my Kiss Luxury Intense Lip Liner in the shade Deep Red, and I'm lining the top and the bottom of my lip line. And I'm just gonna carry it in just a little bit. Now I'm moving on to the gloss. I'm not doing any lipstick today, you guys. I'm just doing glosses, and I'm going to use my Sephora gloss in Model Citizen. This is a Sephora Collection colorful gloss bomb in Model Citizen. So good, so pigmented. And then I'm gonna go on top with my Lime Crime. I love Lime Crime. They have like the best lip colors. Lime Crime Diamond Crusher, and this is in the shade Lit, because you know we want to look lit. We are about to get lit. And yep, just doing final touches on the brows. I'm putting a little bit of mascara onto my brows, and, you know, just to set them in place. Yeah, you don't have to use a brow gel. If you have some mascara, you can just use that. I would say go for a dark brown, or in my case, I use a black because my brows are dark. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.